Do you have an event or news that our listeners may be interested in? If so, contact us at info@chesilradio.com.
Hi, it's Nikki from Chesil Radio, just to pop on and introduce you to an item that very kindly Peter Lithgow has recorded for us with Read Easy South Dorset. Now, as you know, often I step away from the station to attend the Weymouth Town Council's volunteer events that happen, and I get to talk to so many interesting people, and one of those people that we bumped into, and we've actually bumped into a couple of times, is Read Easy South Dorset. Now, they're financially independent from the Read Easy UK and are responsible for keeping their group going, so always, like ourselves, asking for donations if you can. But did you know there are 2.4 million adults in England who can barely read or cannot read at all? Over 7% of working age people. Read Easy South Dorset offer free one-to-one coaching to adults who want to learn to read via their volunteers. A reader and a coach meet for half an hour, twice a week, in spaces that are not overlooked but safeguarding purposes for others. Around some support online and via telephone. Their Turning Pages programme involves 45 graded books to develop from early stage reading, hopefully to read for pleasure. As I said, I've spoken to them on several occasions, and obviously leaflets don't work for people who have difficulty reading. So here is a chat that Peter Lithgow and Read Easy South Dorset had very recently in Weymouth.
My name is Peter Lithgow, and I'm interviewing today Irene Carney for Read Easy.
Hello, everybody.
We're doing an interview about Read Easy, South Dorset section, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
So how long have you been going?
Read Easy UK as a charity was first established in 2010,
Right.
And it was established in this area. Our particular group has been going very much from that beginning time. So quite a few years of experience of helping adults to improve their reading.
Okay, and do you find it difficult to get adults to come forward to learn to read, or is it the impetus from themselves?
I think the most difficult thing for Read Easy is to reach the people who would benefit from coming to Read Easy to improve their reading. There are something like 5 million people in England who have below functional literacy levels, which means that they find everyday reading a very difficult thing to do. So it might be reading food labels, it might be instructions on medicine, household bills are above their level of reading. However, reading is a joyful thing for a lot of people. However, if you can't read, then it's something that I have found people to be embarrassed, to be very reluctant to put their hand up and say that they can't read. Right. They are scared of being ridiculed, and that's why there is a need for a charity like Read Easy, because we coach people on a one-to-one basis. However, before we get to that stage, we actually have to get those people to come to us and say, yes, I'd like to have some help, please, which is very hard. So the more that I can manage to get the word out there so that people are talking about Read Easy, the better, because it's all very well putting up posters, but people who can't read are not going to reply to a poster, are they? Fairly obviously, no. So it's about letting agencies, people, group, social context, anybody and everybody who talks to anybody else can spread the word about Read Easy and let people know that we are here and how we can help them.
Word of mouth. So what is the process of a usual meeting? When people actually turn up to a Read Easy meeting, what is the usual procedure?
Shall I take you through from when somebody first gets in touch with us to that point?
Absolutely, please do, yeah.
Right, okay. So if you know, or an agency knows, or anybody knows somebody who needs to improve their reading, they can either contact us themselves, that person can contact us, or an agency can contact us, or a friend can contact us on their behalf. And that's simply a phone call to me. We will need to make my phone number available when we finish doing this, Peter, somehow. Yeah. And so a phone call to me, or an email, or a text, however, starts the ball rolling. I will talk to that person on the phone or text them, and I'll arrange to meet them, okay? I will pair them with one of our coordinators. And the coordinator will enrol that person with Read Easy. So we talk to them very friendly, very empathetically about what Read Easy is and how it does. Then we enrol them. Yes, there's a form to fill in, but it's not a problem for the person coming in to Read Easy because we do that for them. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That person is then paired with a coach. The coach is the person who is actually going to help that person to improve their reading. Those two people will then agree on a day and a time and a place where they will carry out the coaching sessions. We meet people in approved venues, which offer some amount of privacy, but also keeps a safeguarding part of the situation very safe indeed. Okay, so places like the library, for example. When they've agreed which day they're going to meet and what time they're going to meet and where, then they start to do just that, meet twice a week for about half an hour at a time. We work from a set of manuals that are phonic based, so we're learning through the sounds that letters and words make.
Yeah.
And it can take anything, and this surprises a lot of people, it can take anything up to 2 years to successfully do that. It is not a quick fix and it is difficult, but it's doable.
So what kind of feeling do you get when somebody actually breaks the barrier? You know, when somebody actually discovers the trick to do it? It must be exhilarating. It must be exhilarating.
It is. It is absolutely fantastic. You know, there are actually these manuals that we use. There's actually 5 books that we use. So at the end of every manual, we give the readers a certificate. And I've been told on many occasions by readers, I've never had a certificate before. They're chuffed as can be to actually be succeeding and having that recognised. It's equally thrilling for the coach because they put in a lot of hard work. We're all volunteers, you know, they give their time and their effort. So to see somebody succeeding it's just that's why we do it. It's why we come back for the next reader and the next reader. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's good on all sides. And something that we do towards the end of the person's journey is to collect their story. Right. And some of those are, well, they're heart-rending, some of them, where you talk to the person about why they might not have gained those skills when they were a child, because everybody who can't read has got a story. And usually they're not very happy ones to begin with. I've heard tales of how people used to hide their lack of skills during school time, how they feel that they weren't supported properly in schools, which may or may not have been the case, but it's certainly their memory. And they come out the other end and they're so happy with what they can now do. You know, we've got people, I've had a reader say to her coach who texted her or rang her, I can't remember which, to say that she was going to be a few minutes late arriving, and the reader didn't pick it up because she was busy reading. She was sat in the library in the corner with the book reading.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I don't mind if you don't answer your phone because you're reading. So yeah,
it opens up so many worlds to people.
Yes.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of worlds.
Yes.
That they are kind of, when they don't read, they're insulated against.
Yes.
I think you build up your own little world when you don't read.
Yeah.
You know, you find some reason to deny yourself.
You
know.
And also, that's a fantastic thing that we open up to these people. But it's also about enabling people to move on with their own lives. They can now do things that so many of us take for granted. If you do an exercise, just stop and think how many times you use reading during the course of the day. It's phenomenal. But it could be for some people that they can now work out how to pay their bills correctly because they can read them properly. There are some, on the Read Easy UK website, there are some little videos that you can watch of people talking about what a difference Read Easy has made to them. There's one lady who talks about her child who developed a nut allergy, and because of her low level of reading skills, she couldn't read the contents and her child ended up in hospital. That was her incentive to come to Read Easy. There's other people who will tell you how they would go to work and they'd hold down a job, but come days out, Christmas meals out, they didn't go because they knew they wouldn't be able to read the menu. So rather than say, I can't read, they make an excuse to not go. So it's a massive thing that it does for people. There's one person that I know who hadn't held down a job for about 16 years. She's in full-time employment now.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It changes everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So there's success and celebration all the way along to the end of Manual 5. There's 3 words about Read Easy that I didn't manage to get in at the beginning that I want you to hear. It's
Please.
about Read Easy is friendly.
Right.
And the most important part of that being friendly, being non-judgmental.
Right.
It doesn't matter what's happened before. Yeah, it's flexible. So there is movement around where and when people meet. And the flexibility is also about the learning journey as well, because people come to Read Easy with different levels of literacy. And if they can read a bit, then they can go through the first manual, the second manual, maybe at quite a quick pace.
Right.
Until it gets a bit more tricky, and then we can slow down. So it's flexible in that way, and it's very individual to each person. And one of the most important things, bearing in mind that some people that come to us maybe are out of work or in low-paid jobs, etc. It's free. Read Easy is free. All you have to do is say yes, please.
I understand completely the holding back, the personal holding back that you can't read, because I've had experience in that, and in my family and neighbours I've known and people I've known through my life. So I know how difficult it is to say you've got a problem.
Yeah.
And to actually go forward and try to find a cure. And Read Easy is a great way to do it. It's a fantastic way to do it. Because as you say, it is easy and there is no pressure. I think
there's no pressure. It's very personal. It does take a while. It is a commitment because it's not a quick fix. It does take a while for some people. Others go through the course more quickly, but that's a very individual part of it.
So when people on the first book, on the second book, when people see how it works, there must be a realization in their lives that they suddenly get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another part of the course that, although we have these, I keep referring to the manuals that we use, which are they're the real sort of bread and butter of the course, if you like. This is what teaches people. This is how they learn. But alongside that, there are also a set of some 40-odd small books that have been written for adults, because one of the difficult things about learning to read as an adult is most of the materials are aimed at children.
Right.
So alongside the manuals, we have these, I think it's 42, something like that, books that have been written for adults. So they're adult stories, and the books are with the manuals. So when you've done so many pages of Manual 1, you'll be able to read this book for a lot of people for the first time, albeit a very short story, but they actually read a book from beginning to end.
It's basically like a reward. You get the success for completing the first task. It's reading this book. Yeah.
And we also, at the beginning, when we first meet people, we do ask them, what would you like to be able to do? What would you like to be able to read? And for some people, the answer to that is, I just want to be able to read when my child goes to school. I want to help them learn to read. Huge incentive. Some people are saying, I want to read to my grandchildren. I could never read to my own children. I want to read to my grandchildren. So for some people, it's about the joy of reading. For other people, a very common one we get is want to be able to fill in forms, because there's so much in life where, one way or another, you've got to. And some of the vocabulary that's used sometimes in forms is quite unique to form writing. For example, block capitals. Well, a lot of people can't read the words block capitals and then to understand what they are. So alongside the manuals and the reading books, we will also, especially towards the end of the course, put in additional support materials that will help people with the specific aim that they had.
Right. So if people want to contact the group, as you say, you're going to mention a telephone number.
Yes.
And if you have a website or Facebook presence or anything like that, if you'd like to kind of tell people about it now.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So if you've heard about Read Easy and you want to hear some more, you don't have to commit at the first phone call, but if you want to hear some more about how we can help you or help a person that you know, my phone number is 07490 757756. My email address is Irene, IRENE, readeasy.org.uk.
Okay.
There is a national website, which is www.readeasy.org.uk.
Right.
And there's a lot of information on there because there are now 92 groups across England, which is quite a growth rate. Yeah, we are on Facebook, not so, we need to improve our Facebook presence, to be quite honest with you. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that here, but it's true. So if there's anybody out there that would like to volunteer with Read Easy and sort out our Facebook page, there's a volunteering role for you there. If people are listening and are interested in the volunteering side, because as I've said already, we are all volunteers, our team, and there are various roles within that. Then by all means give me a ring as well, and I can pass you on to other people within Read Easy.
Chesil Radio.
Just want to take the opportunity to thank Read Easy South Dorset and Peter Lithgow for recording that for us and having a chat and meeting up for us. They have a Facebook page that you can look up, which is Read Easy South Dorset, and also you can email Irene, IRENE, at readeasy, or one word, .org.uk. You can also call them at their main head office, which it looks like, Monday to Thursday, taking this from the website, 01388 435 021, and they'll direct you with any further help that you might need.